Hello everyone, welcome back to my shop. It's been a while, I know, but the weather's starting to get nice, so I figured I'd come out and make a project I've been looking forward to making. It's out of these glass vials. So basically I've seen people, they'll make something that they slide into a piece of wood, and then you could fill them like half full with water and put plants and start your plants in the water and their root starter. So I'm gonna try and make that. I'm gonna make it out of pine, so it's easier to work with right now. And then if I like how it is, I'm gonna make it out of hardwood and then possibly post it on my Etsy account. So let's get going. First things first, I found a piece of pine. I'm just gonna use this. There's not a lot of markings on it. It's easy to sand, so I'll use this. We'll get it cut down to size and start drilling some holes in it. All right, so I went ahead and went with 6 inches. So we'll go 2 6-inch pieces. One will be the top, one will be the bottom. I'll kind of see how far I want to make it and then put the sides so that it stays up kind of like this. All right, so for our vials, I measured in 1 inch on both sides. We're gonna mark them because that is where we want the edge of each vial to line up with. I think they're vials. I'm not really sure what they are. Okay. So then each vial is going to line up on the edge of that, like so. And I think that'll be cool. You know, there'll be a little bit of space in between each vial. So I think I'm going to take this and I'm going to find the center. And I think if I just find the center of this piece and draw a line down the center, we should be able to line our Forstner bit with that and the edge and find the center. So it's a 2.5 inch board. So half of that is 1 1/4. Hopefully my math is right. So we'll go 1 1/4 here and 1 1/4 here. Okay, and then we will connect. We'll take our speed square here and line them up. Like so. There we go. Now, if we take our Forstner bit, push it into here and line the very outside edge with this cross point, that should be perfect on both sides. So we'll head over the Forstner bit. I've learned from the past that if you drill all the way through with the Forstner bit, you risk blowout when it comes through the bottom. So I'm gonna drill 2 pilot holes all the way through this board so that when I cut halfway through, I can flip it over and cut the rest of the way through, and then we shouldn't have any blowout. All right, there we go. We got the 2 pilot holes screwed in or drilled out. So now we'll get the Forstner built. All right, we got the Forstner bit in and it's 1.5 inches, and we will go ahead and start drilling. So here we go. There we go. That actually worked out really good. I don't know why I'm so surprised about that. But anyway, let's go see if the bottles fit. All right, here we go. We got bottles here. Oh, those fit nice. So basically they'll sit like that. Something like that. There we go. Like that. And then you'd be able to plant some plants in that. So I'll go ahead and cut the sides. I gotta figure out how thick I want this. I thought about while I was doing this, what if I did like say some maple with it? Just like 2 contrasts of wood. Like these little pieces of maple I got here would look really cool on there, but they're not long enough. So I'd have to see if I had some other pieces of maple And then the other problem is trying to mount them other than gluing them. I mean, glue would work, but anyway, all right. I'm gonna get going on looking for wood and see what I come up with. So I don't know if you can see it. I found this cedar. It's got a really nice red to it. I don't know if that shows up on camera, but I was thinking that would be cool on the sides for the side walls, basically. So I'd use cedar and then the pine would go on top. I think that would look very interesting. And it's two different kinds of wood, which makes it unique. So I'm gonna cut these down and see what that looks like, and we'll go from there. All right, got all the pieces cut. Let's just see how this all fits up together. So it'll be like that. They'll come in a little bit, and then this will lay on top. And then you'll have two vials. Something like that. That looks so cool. I like that. Here. Yeah, I think that's gonna turn out awesome. All right. I'm gonna get to finishing these. I probably won't record all of that because, well, everybody's seen people sand before. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish everything and then we'll start assembling it. All right, I believe I have everything all measured out. Let's see how this all looks. So we went with 3/8 of an inch in on the sides. So we'll do that. And then these will line up on the top. Boo and boo. Oh, 3/8 ain't gonna work on that side. Well, this needs to be squared up, true. So we just don't want it to overhang any of the holes. There. That's basically how it's gonna be. I like it. I'll get it all mounted together and show you the final product. All right, these have been in the clamp for a little while now, so I'm gonna go ahead and take them off. See what we got here. Very nice. All right, I popped a couple of pin nails into it while it was sitting here on the clamps. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple more pin nails where the clamps were, just for extra hold. I'm using 1-inch pin nails. There. Ooh, almost missed that one. Alrighty. And there it is. I need to sand it down. I see this isn't perfect. That's one bad thing is, I don't know if my miter saw is off a little bit or what, but trying to get a perfect square cut has just been almost impossible. So yeah, there it is. And then now you would take your two vials and drop them in there. And there you have a nice plant starter. So I really like how that turned out. That turned out really good, I think. So I think I'll give this one to my wife and work on getting a little bit better with maybe checking up the square on my miter saw to make sure that it's actually square. And yeah, I think that turned out so cool. Really awesome. I like that. Well, I figured I'd show what it looked like with some shellac sprayed on it. Got a nice shine to it. I'm not sure if I even like shellac anymore, just with that little ridge I get every time I spray it. But I think that's gonna turn out really nice. I think she'll like it, so. And I thank you all for stopping by. It's been really nice to get back in the shop and build something again. By the way, that cedar that I had, that's actually reclaimed from a pallet that I ran through the planer to a 1/4 inch. So it's kind of cool. I've got a lot of pallet wood that I've ran through that planer and down to a 1/4 inch that I can make boxes out of. So yeah, this was a fun build, and I'm looking forward to making some more stuff. I got some jewelry box ideas, or just like trinket boxes. I made one that's currently listed on my Etsy out of reclaimed pallet wood. Turned out pretty good. I actually really enjoyed making it. I wish I could have done a video, but anyway, I thank you for watching. Yeah, if you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe. If you like the video, hit the like button. Remember, I do have an Etsy account if you want to check that out. Link will be in the description. I thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.